Good afternoon, friends. You are welcome to our tutorials today. Today we'll be discussing on the arm. We'll continue from the aspect we stopped. We discussed on the bicep brachii the other time. So today we'll be discussing on the brachialis and the coracobrachialis muscle. So let's start with the brachialis muscle. The brachialis muscle is a very important muscle in the anterior compartment of the arm. One important thing you need to know about the brachialis muscle is this. The brachialis muscle, from the word brachium, originates from the arm and have its insertion related to the arm. Now, we are going to discuss on the origin of the brachialis muscle. We'll talk about the insertion of the brachialis muscle. We'll talk about the nerve supply or the innervation to the brachialis muscle, and we also talk about the action of the brachialis muscle. Let's start with the first. Origin of the brachialis muscle. The brachialis muscle originates from the distal aspect of the anterior surface of the humerus. I will repeat that once more. The brachialis muscle originates from the distal aspect of the anterior surface of the humerus. Remember, the bicep brachii inserts at the radial tuberosity, but the brachialis muscle inserts at the ulnar tuberosity. So that is the difference between brachialis muscle and the bicep brachii with relation to the insertion. Bicep brachii inserts at the radial tuberosity. Brachialis muscle inserts at the ulnar tuberosity. That is the insertion of the brachialis muscle. Innervation or nerve supply to the brachialis muscle. The brachialis muscle is innervated by the musculocutaneous nerve. But in some percent of people, the radial nerve may also contribute to the nerve supply to the brachialis muscle. Action of the brachialis muscle. The action of the brachialis muscle is of prime importance. It is very examinable to know the action. So what's the action of the brachialis muscle? The brachialis muscle is responsible for flexion of the elbow joint. When we talk about flexion of the elbow joint, apart from the brachialis muscle, the other muscles mentioned, bicep brachii muscle, it can bring about flexion of the elbow joint. But it is not the primary muscle for flexion. The primary muscle for flexion of the elbow joint is the brachialis muscle. It can flex the elbow joint from all positions. For that reason, the brachialis muscle is known as the workhorse of elbow flexion. It is known as the workhorse of elbow flexion because it can flex the arm, the forearm, in all directions. With that, we move to the next muscle, the coracobrachialis muscle. From the name coracobrachialis, you can simply tell me the origin and insertion of that muscle. The coracobrachialis muscle is very important in the arm. Before we talk about the origin of this muscle, I would like to tell you that the coracobrachialis muscle is known as the landmark of the arm. Maybe ask that in your exam. Which muscle of the anterior compartment of the arm is known as the landmark of the arm? Answer: the coracobrachialis muscle. Why is this muscle known as the landmark of the arm? Let me give you two reasons. One reason why it is known as the landmark of the arm is because this muscle is pierced by a nerve known as the musculocutaneous nerve. Examinable point. Which muscle of the anterior compartment of the arm is pierced by musculocutaneous nerve? Answer: the coracobrachialis muscle. Second reason why this muscle is known as the landmark in the arm is that the insertion of this muscle can be used to locate the nutrient foramen of the humerus. May I ask, what is the nutrient foramen of the humerus? Bones need nutrients. And at times, there's an opening where an artery can enter into a bone to supply the bone with nutrients. That opening is referred to as the nutrient foramen. you can locate the nutrient foramen of the arm or of the humerus using the insertion of the coracobrachialis muscle. The coracobrachialis muscle inserts very, very close to the nutrient foramen, so you can use it to locate the nutrient foramen. For these two reasons, the coracobrachialis muscle is known as the landmark in the arm. With that, let's go to the origin of this muscle. From the word coracobrachialis, you know that the coracobrachialis muscle originates from the tip of coracoid process. If you watched my previous video on the arm, you'll be able to observe that even the short head of bicep brachii also originates from the tip of the coracoid process. So they may ask you this in exam. Which muscle share the same origin as the short head of bicep brachii? Answer: coracobrachialis muscle. Coracobrachialis muscle and short head of bicep brachii share the same origin, have a common origin from the tip of the coracoid process. Next point, insertion of the coracobrachialis muscle. Coraco, its origin brachialis, telling you that it inserts in the brachium, that's in the humerus. Now, talking about the insertion of the coracobrachialis muscle, simply put, you can say the coracobrachialis muscle inserts at the middle aspect of the medial surface of the humerus. The middle aspect of the medial surface of the humerus. That is the insertion of the coracobrachialis. With that, we move to the nerve supply, also known as the innervation. The coracobrachialis is innervated by the musculocutaneous nerve. And lastly, we go to the action. The coracobrachialis is essential for adduction of the what? Of the arm, and also for flexion of the arm. These are some of the functions of the coracobrachialis: adduction of the arm and flexion of the arm. Special notes: whenever you hear the word shunt muscles, something should come to your mind. Shunt muscles. What are shunt muscles? Shunt muscles. Alright, what are shunt muscles? When you say shunt muscles, just remember it using this simple illustration. Imagine you have a 25 liter of water, drawing it from a well close to your house to your home compound. You can draw that successfully because you are a big man or because you are of age. But if you give that gallon, 25 liter, to a little child, they cannot draw that. Now, imagine you are taking a very large gallon along. What prevents your humerus from leaving the shoulder joints? What prevents the shoulder joint from dislocating inferiorly? What muscles perform that function? The muscles are referred to as the shunt muscles. So what are shunt muscles? Shunt muscles are muscles that prevent the inferior dislocation of the humerus from the shoulder joints. Please remember that point. Now, which muscles of the upper limb are referred to as the shunt muscles? Let me list the 3 shunt muscles you need to know. Number 1, long head of tricep brachii. Number 2, the coracobrachialis muscle. And number 3 shunt muscle. It is very important to know the 3 shunt muscle, I must tell you. The number 3, which is very important, is called the deltoid muscle. We'll talk about that muscle in subsequent video. So the deltoid muscle, coracobrachialis, long head of tricep brachii forms the shunt muscles, and they are important for preventing inferior dislocation of the humerus from the shoulder joints. Successfully, we'll be able to discuss on the arm, giving important notes on the coracobrachialis and the brachialis in this particular video. And in the previous video, we discussed on the bicep brachii. Thank you very much for watching this video. In our subsequent video, we are going to give more light on the posterior compartment of the arm. Once more, I say thank you and God bless you.